Welcome to day 56 of our school year. Let's get down our beginning fraction. Our denominator is 180 because that's the total amount of school days, and we are currently on day 56. So let's go ahead and find all the factors of our numerator, 56. Two factors we always know are 1 and the number itself. And using the commutative property of multiplication, I can write it as 56 times 1. Now I'm going to go through my divisibility rules in order so that I don't miss any. After 1 then, I try 2. The rule for 2 is that it ends in an even number. 6 is even, so 2 is a factor. 2 times 28, 28 times 2. Next, I try 3. The rule for 3 is that when we add the digits together, we look and see, is that sum a multiple of 3? Is 11 a multiple of 3? No. So 3 is not a factor. We try 4. One thing to check with 4 is the second factor with 2 even? It is. So that means 4 is a factor. 4 times 14. 14 times 4. Okay, then we try 5. The rule for 5 is that it ends in a 0 or 5. It ends in a 6, so 5 is not a factor. We try 6. The rule for 6 is that both 2 and 3 are factors. 2 is, but 3 is not, so 6 is not a factor. We try 7. We just list the factors of 7. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56. 7 is a factor. 7 times 8. 8 times 7. There are no counting or natural numbers between 7 and 8, so we are done. Let's go ahead and list our factors from least to greatest. 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, 14, 28, 56. Okay, we have a total of 8 factors. That is more than 2 factors, so it is composite. And now we need to figure out which one of these is our greatest common factor. So let's start with our largest factor to C. So we're making groups of 56. Your groups do not have to look like mine, but they do have to have 56 in each group. And you need to keep your shaded separated from your unshaded. So here I have 4 plus 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, so 54. 2 is 56, 8, 20, okay. 48 plus 8 is 56. I have 12 left over, so that means that 56 did not work. Okay, let's try 28. Again, your groups do not have to look like mine, but you need to keep your shaded separated from your unshaded. And we need to make sure there's 28 in each group. Okay, 4 plus 20 is 24, plus 4 is 28. 6 plus 20 is 26, plus 2 is 28. 8 plus 20 is 28. 20 plus 8 is 28. I have 12 left over, so that means 28 did not work. So let's try 14. Plus 4, 6 plus 8, 12 plus 2, 8 plus 6. Okay, so make sure your shaded is already done, and then work on your unshaded. 14, 14. 6 plus 8 is 14. 12 plus 2 is 14. 8 plus 6 is 14. 4 plus 10 is 14. 10 plus 4 is 14. 6 plus 8 is 14. And again, we have 12, so that means that 14 is not our greatest common factor. Okay, let's try groups of 8. Four, 6, 8. Okay. Once you have your shaded done, then you want to work on your unshaded. Your groups do not have to look like mine, but you do have to have A in each group. So I'm doing 2 groups of 4 because 2 times 4 is 8. And I have 4 left over, so 8 didn't work. Okay, let's do groups of 7. Your groups do not have to look like mine, but they do have to have 7 in each group. Okay, so I know 10 take away 3 is 7, so that's one way I'm going to make my groups of 7 without having to count. Counting does work. It's a little bit slower, but it's better to get to the right answer slowly than the wrong answer quickly. And I have 5 left over, so 7 didn't work. Let's try 4. So I'm going to use perfect squares in my groups of 4 because 4 is a perfect square. That means it forms a perfect square. Each side is the same dimension. So this is a 2 by 2 because 2 times 2 is 4. But you do not have to make them this way. Just make sure that there's 4 in each group. Okay, 4, finally one that works. So 4 is our greatest common factor. Now we need to count up our total groups of 4. I have 5 in each row, so I'm going to count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 40, 45. So my denominator is 45. And my numerator, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 14 groups of 4 in my numerator then. Okay, now that we've done our division with our model, because dividing is making groups, or repeated subtraction, I'm now going to do it with my algorithm. 180 divided by 4, 56 divided by 4. I know that 4 quarters makes 100 cents or $1. Numbers the same, zeros the game, more on top, no need to stop. And then let's see, 20 times 2, the placeholder moves it over a place. 2 times 4 is 8. Numbers the same, zeros the game. Add our partial quotients together. 5 plus 0 is 5, 2 plus 2 is 4. Here, 10 times 4 is 40. More on top, no need to stop. More on top, no need to stop. 4 times 4 is 16. Numbers the same. Zeros the game. Add our partial quotients and we get 14. Now let's go ahead and check our answer. Divisor times quotient plus remainder. Divisor times quotient plus remainder. Since our remainder for both is 0, and the identity property of addition says when you add 0 it stays the same, we don't need to actually add it. 4 groups of 5 is 20. 4 groups of 4 tens is 16 tens, plus 2 more tens is 18 tens. 4 groups of 4 is 16. 4 groups of 10 is 4 tens, plus 1 more is 5 tens. 56 matches our dividend, so check. 180 matches our dividend, so check. That means our numerator is 14 and our denominator is 45. Okay, now let's go ahead and fill in our data collection page. All right, trimester 1, week 13, the last week of this trimester. Next week we'll start trimester 2. So today is 10/28/19. And our fraction for today is 14/45. So we did groups of 4. So our last group of 4 is 13/45, and then today 14/45. There's nothing lined up below it, but there is an equivalent fraction in the 2's. The 2 is, sorry, that's so high. The 2 is a common factor, but 4 is the greatest common factor. So 14/45 is our simplest form for today, or our equivalent fraction in lowest terms. Okay, go ahead and put your number line away, erase your worksheet, and thank you for joining me.